because of the nature of the creative realm, you're really dealing with the innermost parts of someone's being. Okay. So when you criticize someone's art, for instance, it's literally like reaching in to their soul and crushing their heart, literally. I know it. I've seen it happen. And well, for instance, like my mom, she's the painter and the true artist in my family. And you can't say anything to my mom except other than, that is beautiful, Mom. That painting is beautiful. Otherwise, you're going to make her cry.
Wow.
And designers are kind of known for just, leave me alone. Let me grow my hair out. Let me go down to my cave and work in my pajamas and let me create and don't say anything that, other than how appreciative you are of me. Otherwise, they're going to Tasmanian devil out. In the 35 years I've been running a sign company, I've had my share of employees that some work out really well and some don't. Personality has a lot to do with it. But to get to your point, I think originally your question was what kind of unintended consequences can come out of someone's brand. A pineapple is got for whatever reason a double entendre, and I've been made aware of that for whatever reason. But to do your own due diligence and research and whatever logo marks that you find that are inspiring, that's what's most important. But you want to do your own due diligence to make sure you're not putting something out there that's untoward or that would be off-put.
Yeah, I think it's a upside down pineapple you want to avoid. But yeah,
Right.
but awesome, man. Hey, if you can introduce yourself, I think we can get started. And who are you? What are you great at? And what's your passion? And then we like to end with a little Q&A. And also, if you could bring us 3 actionable items to wrap us up at the end, that would be amazing, Jack. So,
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
Absolutely. I got a quick question though. I'd like to share my screen if I could put myself in like a small corner where, unless everyone can see my Jack Pratt sign logo, and with the slideshow presentation I've got, or
We
is
see
that?
it. Yeah, we see your logo.
We see it,
very
Monty. Just click the next slide and there we go. And then
Very
the
good.
next one. Perfect.
Very good.
Awesome.
All right. Well, again, thank you, Eli. I really appreciate this opportunity. I guess I would have to start out that my family business is just that, a true family business. Since 1950, my grandfather started this company, and I'm actually in the room that my dad grew up in when they moved into this house when he was in junior high, and eventually created or converted this house into our front office. And we have some land that is consistent with being in Oklahoma. But we have some pole barns and some concrete block buildings on our property. And my grandfather didn't have any delusions of grandeur, I would say. He just wanted to do what he did well, which was hand lettering, and did a number of jobs, but found a niche within the oil and gas industry when holes were being punched all over Oklahoma and Texas drilling oil. And they were required by law to put up a sign that just had basic information, black on white, single face, nothing fancy. And that's how he began making signs. And he needed to make them that lasted at least the life of the well, and couldn't think of putting a product out that wouldn't be able to at least withstand the natural elements, which is in nowhere, Oklahoma, or nowhere, Texas, or wherever is just out in the pasture enough, where the cows can scratch up against them. So quality always was our cornerstone. And as a result, I've started as just as a young kid putting sacks of nuts and bolts together for our clients, and worked in the shop all the way from the shipping and handling to putting signs together to the back shop to helping implement and bring our powder coating operation, which we're really proud of. It's a point of difference as a sign company. Can get to that later. But I'm what you would say creatively cursed. Okay, not everybody is creative. Everyone is aspired to be creative, and everyone is inspired by the creative. But not everybody is creative, and that can be a problem when working with someone who has a preconceived idea of what their brand is. And I can tell you, I've had my own crossroads where I thought I knew what my brand was, what the feelings, thoughts, and emotions are of what people experience when they see my logo, that I'm 100% sure that I know what people are thinking and feeling when they see my logo. And that, unfortunately, was a harsh realization that I don't. So it took a lot of work and effort to break down the things that work and do away with what doesn't. And so we've been in the midst of a rebrand, and I noticed that it's really easy for me to identify someone's weaknesses and problems in their brand, but for me to do it myself in my own company, I second think and I second guess every move and action, which, being that I understand how each and every real estate agent thinks that they want to brand themselves on their own, but never really get it off the ground because they're always second guessing themselves. So beyond that, and the creative curse, I love playing the drums, and I'll obviously love design work. The importance in real estate branding, as we kind of touched on, it really has to do with continuity and consistency, that your logo looks exactly the way, shape, and form that it was created originally, and how it manifests in every other koozie, yard sign, web banner, social media banner, any manifestation of where your logo is going to appear. You want to have that continuity behind it. And I've had enough experience with agents where we would do all of the groundwork, from the custom illustration of their logo to a complete entire portfolio of how it can be represented, from business cards and a yard sign campaign down to even promotional products, but would just give them the files and say, good luck on getting everything printed out the right way, the same way. If you're going to use 10 different vendors for 10 different products, you're going to get 10 different results, no matter if the logo is different. And I know this because it's, again, due to the experience that I've had with real estate agents just like you. You don't want to hear all the romance of why a PMS color should have been used instead of a hex value, and nor do you want to even hear any of that. You just want your materials printed the right way the first time. So that's what we have embraced, is the proverbial one-stop shop. Now, here are some examples of what some people have relied on us to do. And most of the people that work in EXP are in the agent-centric philosophy, that are told that they can brand themselves however they want, and are then limited to the platforms at their disposal, or the ones that they can pay through the nose through any other agency, if it's not already offered for free through your brokerage. But when it comes to your own personal brand, you want to have your own. You want your brand to be represented consistently throughout all of your materials, from your yard sign down to every other manifestation. So the wrong way would be to have basically a number of different styles of your logo, or not even having a logo, and not treating your business like a business, because you are your business and your brand is you, and there's nothing indistinguishable from you and your brand. That's why a lot of photos are used in a preponderance of marketing materials with real estate agents, because you will not ever lose the name to face recognition in real estate. And the biggest, well, I would say the biggest red flag would be, when it comes to your marketing, to just do whatever you want, like a cowboy twisting your mustache in your office, deciding how you are different and how the rules don't apply to you, and you can go off on your own and ask forgiveness later. That was actually a trend about 20 years ago, and eventually it caught up. And it's no fun to get fined by your state real estate commission for putting out marketing and branding that you've spent a lot of hard-earned time and money on, to then have to start all over again. Any of that nonsense. Pratt way is to book a free consultation and let me identify the strengths and weaknesses in your brand. And that's about as simple as it gets, because whatever you need is not what everyone else needs. But there's a commonality with everyone that has the same, everyone has the same problem. And what I've been able to do is scale it and streamline it through a workshop of sorts. So to get to your, I believe these are our actionable items. What you want is a logo, and to consider your logo the ambassador of your brand. You want to set yourself as apart as an agent, more specifically as a specialist. As far as live design is concerned, I'm reminded of the time this is actually a really good story, and I'll try to make it quick, but about 12 years ago, my wife and I were in the market and buying a home. And we were in a position where we could afford to build a house the way we wanted it, as opposed to buying something in the neighborhood that we had decided we wanted to live in. But we could not agree on the floor plan and layout of the house. And we researched it from stem to stern on what we wanted the house to look like, from the frontage to the indoors to everything inside and out. Finally, our home builder said, let's make an appointment with this guy, and he'll sit down with you and he will create and hand draw the blueprint of your sign, and he'll do it inside of about 30 minutes to 30 to 45 minutes. And he did, and we paid for it, and he nailed it like that. And I thought about this last night, because that illustrates exactly the way that we do sketch design, which is we set a time to book where you time block with us and screen share through the creative process, where you don't have to fumble around through a website trying to figure out how to upload things and get it sized right, where you literally sip a drink and tell me how you want things to look. It's actually the same commercial that Lowe's or Home Depot stole. I had before I saw it. It's like, how do you move a refrigerator with one finger? I move it a little bit that way. Well, that's exactly the way that we do live design. Is you sit and bark orders literally at me, telling me exactly how you want your logo to look. Make it blue, make it red, make it yellow, make it black, make it bigger, make it smaller, all done in real time, as opposed to sketch design, which is emailed back and forth, that maybe you'll get. And then if you don't like it, you won't call back. And it's just a bad model. So we like live design. We don't allow the grass to grow under our feet, I guess you could say. Here's some pointers on how to get a photo. White background is best, period. Do not crop your photo. Please tell your photographer to not crop. Props are a good thing. Headshots and full body shots all day long. Keep your pets at home, and clothing should be solid, contrasting. Black and white is best. Use your branding use the color palette in your branding to work with you. as opposed to trying to match your outfit, your dress, your tie even to your branding. Digital strategies, I would recommend going and setting up an account with, I use Flowcode, but there are a number of outfits that you can choose to generate QR codes. The pin drop QR code yard sign is something that's catching a little attention, can lead the prospect of those that scan the QR code towards a number of different experiences that was not available, nor were the lead capturing capabilities not there, which are there now. And so the text to lead, that is, in my opinion, the best form of lead capturing, because you're dinged immediately once someone has entered in the information and the keyword, and you'll get their phone number and you can sync the proverbial clause into the prospect. QR codes are making leaps and bounds. Not to mention sign-in sheets, for instance, on open houses. And then again, to create your own brand consistency from stem to stern, from the development and creation of your brand, and then having it in all ways, shapes, and forms so it can be put on a ballpoint pen, which, for instance, you would need a linear style as opposed to a stacked style if you just had an emblem. Where are your partner in your marketing and branding efforts? Because it sounds cliche, but I love cliches. When you look good, we look good. I want you to look good. Luckily, I'm passionate about design and want people to look as distinguished and different as much as they can from anyone else. So that is a natural creative challenge for me. So for one source to manage your brand, you won't have the problems of incompatibility or incontinuity with colors, with letter styles, with fonts, with any of the plethora of the why to and how for reasons of how something didn't turn out the way that you want. I'll use Remax as an example only, that if you Google search Remax yard signs, do a Google image search, you will still find an infinite variability of reds and blues, because nobody uses the instructions of how to use those colors properly. And it's hijacked and diluted by the public, who believe they can just do anything they want in the creative realm, because now we have that ability. You can create your brand and do whatever you want. But I could drive a car with my foot if I had to. That doesn't make it a good idea. So check out our marketplace. That is where your brand continuity begins, from every type of marketing material, from business cards to presentation folders, to any other type of promotional product that you would want to have for an open house or any other event. So the 3 actionable takeaways would be: brand yourself, integrate technology, and elevate your brand. These are our packages to take your brand to the next level. These all can be found here, except I'm offering for the first 16 people that sign up to do the initial brand launch at $450 is a 60% off, at least 60% off. And I have a QR code that I have here. So you can scan that QR code. You can copy it and forward it and scan it later. It'll take you to my booking page. And the booking page is, you're going to want to choose the integrity network that I created specifically for this event. If you can see my screen, can you still see my screen?
We see the Q&A, just says Q&A.
Okay. Okay. Bear with me 1 second.
No rush.
And let's see.
And Monte, I do have a couple questions.
This one right here. That's what I want. Okay. So now you can see that. Yes, sir.
All right. So my first question is, and I know you kind of covered this, but if you can go kind of deep dive, what are the top 3 mistakes you see realtors or real estate agents specifically doing wrong in marketing and branding right now? Like, what are the 3 things you'd say, stop doing this? This is what we're specifically, you see over and over us doing wrong.
There's that's a really good question, because there are a number of things, and the number one thing I would say is to leave your pets at home. That is what I would say is the number one mistake. Listen, I love dogs as much as anybody. I could very well be Saint Francis of Assisi. Ask my wife. Dogs will come running up to me. I don't get it, but in as much as I may have an affinity for dogs, that doesn't make it a good idea to incorporate into my branding. Okay, so and I see a lot of that. I use as an example being the pink and purple polka dotted lady. All right. Now, when you go through my workshop, that's going to come out. Whether or not being the pink and purple polka dotted lady is a good idea is a whole other issue. The biggest mistake, aside from your dog or your pets being included in your branding, would be to the way it's manifest and not taking your business seriously and treating it like a business. It usually takes on the manifestations in poor photography, a photograph that's incorporated in their branding that was taken on vacation, that for whatever caught the lighting right and caught your smile the right way, it never translates well. So professional photography would be an absolute must. No matter how great an iPhone is, that may not be true. That's pretty damn good right now. I can't stress the importance of using a professional photographer, though. There are certain qualities that you should take advantage of, which is you're a big deal. And you should make it a big deal and treat yourself like you're a big deal and get your hair put up and get your makeup done and put your suit on and treat yourself to making yourself look like the best you could be, not just barely getting by from a photo that you took on vacation. So that would be 2. The third one would be branding that has no continuity, different shades of reds, different shades of blacks, where your website doesn't look like your Facebook page, where where everything is hodgepodge and done where it would look like, see, when I'm saying this, I'm listening to myself. But luckily, I have people that can do my branding better in the way that I know that it should be instead of trying to do it myself. So when it comes to your brand, to have the continuity across the board from all of your social media presence to your website, to your stationery, to your signs, that would be the opposite of that would be one of the ways I would see marketing and branding is done wrong. So did that answer that?
It did. And then on your company, right? If somebody decides to reach out to you guys, because I mean, I think that consultation would probably be really valuable. So you guys are basically, will it be from A to Z, like one-stop shop? We're talking about, you know, cover pictures for Facebook, profile pictures, logo design, signs, riders, flags, balloons. Can we get everything from Jack Pratt?
Yes.
Okay.
The proverbial one-stop shop started when we were affiliated heavily with as an approved vendor with a particular national brokerage that we're still loosely affiliated with. But beyond that, the idea, I think I pointed on this earlier, was that I was doing all the hard work on the front end and then giving their files away and saying, good luck, you know, maybe you'll get it printed right, which of course they wouldn't. And so it's been through a lot of extensive research on my end where we've got a relationship with a company that gives us access to hundreds of vendors that provide you rock bottom dollar pricing to every imaginable promotional product that you can imagine, from cups and koozies to any kind of promotional swag, to if you wanted to do any kind of
Hey, Monty, sorry to interrupt you.
almost too
Is it
bad.
okay, Monty, is it okay if we stop the screen share and just see you and talk to you directly?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, just there you go. It's a better way to have a conversation. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to make sure we get to see you. I was gonna ask, this is a curious question. It's not really for growth or anything. I was just curious because you mentioned the QR codes, and I always thought that was such a thing of yesterday. But has there been like a lot of growth maybe since COVID, especially with menus and restaurants? Did COVID change the QR code game?
Big time. Big time. We've been beating the QR code drum since 2008, 2009. I remember doing an event at Prescott, Arizona, and there were, the idea of QR codes back then was wonderful. And I was all on it with my partners saying, we got to get on this. We got to be able to have, you know, to make them dynamic and redirect and make QR code stickers and put them on signs and blah, blah. And I was going nuts. And of course, this was back, it wasn't well received. And as you realtors know, you are the purveyors of all things technological. You will gobble it up and spit it out if there's no value. And there was zero value when it came to lead capture. It was like, woohoo, slow clap on that 100 scans you got on your QR code, buddy. How many of those are you going to convert? Well, now that Grandma Floyd knows exactly what to do when she sees a QR code at the restaurant and gets the exact results that were intended, and she knows because it's integrated into the camera. And oh my gosh, back then, yeah, it got gobbled up, and it really put a bad taste in realtors' mouth collectively. And it was weird. And all along, I'm looking at my competitors, and they embraced it, spent tens of thousands of dollars into generating QR code technology into their e-commerce based websites on how to generate your own yard sign and put the QR code and redirect it and all that back end technological stuff, where my partners were like, no, we'll print it, but we're not going to integrate the experience of QR codes. Fast forward today after COVID, it was flowcode.com. That has been, I've seen them all. And that one to me is, now I get zero from them. So just for the record, but they have a proclivity towards design, and I have a proclivity for design, and they have as far as lead capturing, you could generate it to where it'll generate, I'm sorry, you can have it where it generates a text message directly to you, the realtor. So where they don't even have to do anything, you can have a preset text message. So when they scan the QR code, automatically their text, their message app pops up, and automatic text of whatever you want to say, like, hey bro, thanks for scanning, what you need, or you can say whatever in order to build instant rapport. Remember, because this is this is at the point where it all falls to hell in a handbasket. It's at the point of where that person's thinking, am I going to give up my information to this person or not? Well, nowadays, I think it's a little bit more, I mean, okay, if you're going to, it's not so weird. And I think the creep factor can be arguably diminished by the nature of how COVID has exacerbated the whole QR code movement. Okay. So that was a long answer to, there's the right way would be to get it up with someone like Flow Code, where you can manage the back end, where you could put it on your flyers, on your signs. But then if you're bored with it, with that experience, when they scan that code, you can get online, pull up your account and just change and redirect it. And so, it's definitely integratable. And I'm biased. I've seen it since the get-go, but now, especially since COVID, again, you want to do it the right way, and the wrong way would be to use any of the fly-by-night generating QR codes that expire, that you got printed on stuff that are floating out to you don't know how long, or even into whose hands it's gotten into, and they try to scan it and it doesn't work, or for whatever reason gives, that's the wrong way. The right way, indistinguishable from my way. Sorry.
So should we have a QR code on our signs? Is that what you're saying? Our writers and signs should all have a QR code that goes to our website or a lead capture site?
It all starts out the same way. Every real estate agent I speak to, when it gets to QR codes, it always starts out, I want a great big QR code and I don't want anything on it. It's like, okay, great. And then eventually, as sure as the morning sun, it's, well, put my phone number on there. Well, put my web address on there. Well, go ahead and put my logo on there and put this on there. And next thing you know, everything's just kind of shrunk. And then you got a preponderance of graphics all on top of each other. And it looks like a great big mess. Okay. That's not what I would do. If you want to embrace the QR code, I would do it with, I would do it where it's big and have it be, I have the same attitude as I do when it comes to putting your photo on your sign. If you're going to put your photo on your sign, big and large in charge, put it on there. Don't put it in a box in a corner. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Why should they put you in a box in a corner? You're better than that. You know it. So same idea with the QR code. Here's the way I'm thinking about it. Who here, raise your hand, if you've seen anyone or have done for yourself, hired some kid locally to go out and put a happy birthday, so-and-so, 15th birthday, with a bunch of chloroplast signs that basically take up the whole front yard. Who has ever seen that? Has anyone seen it? Okay. Some kid in the neighborhood, so what are they doing there? They're using the entire front yard as the palette. So I wonder what a great big 4-foot circle of nothing but a QR code. That's what I'm thinking. Use the yard as the palette and put a great big pin drop QR code. When it comes to QR codes, that's what I would do. Make it look like just, what the heck is that? So
Love it. Love it.
That's what I would do. But if you want to add it on a rider or put it on your sign, yes, do it the right way through flow code or through anyone that you can manage it and use the ones that are dynamic. And that's the key word when it comes to QR codes is you want to use the dynamic QR codes, which basically makes them editable. So if you get tired of sending people to the same sign up page, you say, well, let's send them to this other experience over here. You don't have to change the QR code. It's dynamic, meaning by definition, you can change the destination of wherever they go when they scan the code.
Awesome. I think Glenn has a question if you want to unmute yourself, Glenn. And Kayla too.
I didn't have a question. He just said raise your hand if you did the yard sign thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
If you have a question now, you can still ask it. Glenn's one of our partners in Houston. He's awesome. Kayla, did you have a question? Is she still here? She had her hand up.
I was raising my hand for his question, but I actually do kind of have one to ask. And I don't know if this was addressed before I jumped on the call, but I've been seeing this a lot lately. So someone that I'm not going to mention their name because they are maybe on this call said that we should be changing our photos for marketing every 6 months. And I am like really behind on that, but I've been seeing a lot of the AI created headshots. A lot. I see so some of them are like very obvious, very like not good, like tacky, and you can very much tell it's AI. But it's also very tempting for me. Like as weird as it sounds, I've been very tempted just to like stay like fresh and I'm trying to improve like content creation and stuff. So I've just thought of it, but I want to know like a professional opinion, how bad of an idea would that be?
Well, I would say that whoever said that to change it every 6 months has got some sort of invested interest and probably would need to be locked up. Beyond that, if you want to change your photo every 6 months and spend the money on changing every imaginable piece of marketing material because of that change, I think it's a bad idea. 6 months, maybe every 3 to 5 years, maybe.
For our photo, for our headshots.
For your headshots, I mean, different strokes, different folks. Listen, there are some that I know even locally in Oklahoma City that have been using their beehive hairdo high school photo since when they were in high school back in 1952. But that's her brand. Okay. So not that, good, bad, right, wrong, whatever. Not, well, it's right, wrong. And then unless you're Barbara Harris, but I love Barbara Harris. Wow. I'm about saving you guys money and giving you guys ultimate value. And I will not sit here and say that you need to update your photo every 6 months. But hell, what do I know? Hairstyles change as quickly as fads come and go. So, that would be a personal call. Now, I experienced, speaking of COVID, it aged me about 20 years, and I don't recognize the guy in the mirror anymore. I didn't have the 25 pounds to lose. And of course, now every time I see anybody, it's like, man, you're skinny. It's like, yeah, I got it. And I play the drums and I can't even keep the weight on. So, cry me a river, I'm just so darn, but I don't want to look sickly and deathly ill either. So, I would say if you want to, make it a great big deal and upgrade your photo every 6 months. And for that matter, upgrade your logo every 6 months. Who am I to tell you no? I don't think it's necessary unless anyone else thinks that, but I've never heard that. Is that enough?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, no, okay.
That's awesome. Awesome. Appreciate it. Anything else? Anybody have any questions, comments for Monte? You don't get to talk to somebody with, 34 years experience every day. So if you guys have questions, marketing, branding, Oh, Monty, when on Pratt, quick question about your company. If we sign up with your company, do we get a rep, or is it every time we go try to get something, somebody else is helping and we got to start over the conversation?
No, we're a small family business, so we operate like a small family business. There's myself and there's Shannon, who I would consider my right hand. You guys reach out directly to her and me. I actually do hands-on graphic design and will help build your brand on all of those packages on my site. But when you start up an account, it's less corporate. It's not corporate at all. It's, you know, I'm Monty from Oklahoma. You know, I office out of my dad's house that is in Oklahoma City, and I'm very fortunate to have what we have, and look forward to building relationships with real estate agents that care about quality, and not only quality in their products, but quality in their brand and the way that they look. And we want to make that experience for you fun and enjoyable, because there's nothing more painful than to have to readdress your brand or listen to a bunch of romance from a vendor when you realize you've got no signs and you need a sign in the ground because you got a listing. The last thing you want to hear is a bunch of romance of, well, our turnaround is 7 to 10 working days and just get in line. We are small enough where we can stop what we're doing to get you what you need when you need it. Now, so yeah, we're very conscientious about the service side of making sure you're up and running with your signs, because you don't want to hear a bunch of romance on turnaround time. And I would rather not do any of it at all if I knew that I couldn't put out a product that could beat the pants off of everyone else in the country from a quality standpoint. Now, you know, quality is something that's in the eye of the beholder, but I mentioned earlier, everyone digitally prints their signs, but nobody powder coats them afterwards. And that's what we do. And I'm the only one probably dumb enough to do it that way, because I don't want them scratching. I don't want them peeling. I don't want them fading. We put a 2 to 3 mil thick coat of powder coat, high gloss. No one else does that. There's other applications that are fair to good, and some don't even apply a clear coat at all. Because the quality element is heavily important in not only the real estate industry, but it is especially in the oil and gas industry, that the signs need to last at least the length of the life of the well. So, you know, everybody claims quality. Ours is the best, and we only use the best materials. And, you know, not everybody could be the best. You know that. The bottom line is it's subjective and it's in the eye of a beholder. So y'all can make your, I'd love to send you a sample, Eli, just so you can have in your office and you can tell me. I'll tell you this, it's too good. I've never seen one. I just went to a show and I put my signs on display, and I just love the fact that we have over the years continued to make our product better and better and better. And it's great to have a product that does its own selling because it's so damn good. Sorry. But what other Q&A do y'all have for me?
I love the passion, man. I'm passionate about what we do, so I appreciate that. No, I think if anybody has a question for Monty or a comment, concern, question about branding, marketing, question about the company, it's either now or forever. What is it? Forever hold your peace.
I know one of these guys was about to look like you're about to jump out of your skin when we were talking about QR codes. Yeah, you.
Yeah, I've had a lot of success with our QR codes as well. We've made a pretty big drip campaign with our QR codes. We do have a big QR code on our listing signs, and it has brought us quite a bit of leads. The QR code, it basically goes to like a link tree. So where you can see our current listings, you can see our website. I'm saying you can search for homes immediately. And it's been mind blowing because, like the conversation we had, We feel like QR codes are something of yesterday, but realistically, with COVID happening, you see them at the bars now, you see them everywhere. So a lot more people are a lot more comfortable scanning them, and like you said, participating. So I personally, I'm definitely seeing that.
Wow. Which platform are you using? Are you using dynamic ones?
Yes, I am. I just started using dynamic ones. So we're still testing out which the one on flow code, like you were talking about, how it sends you a text message. We're trying to get it kind of witty and fun at the same time to make it
Right.
engaging. So
Right.
we're testing that out. So it was kind of cool to hear you bring up some things that we're already trying to implement.
All right. I will say this. Now, I don't know. Well, all I know is from what I've been told. Now, for those that know about the text to lead feature that you see on signs, I've heard that the amount of information that you can extrapolate is mind-blowing. So, beyond the phone number that you are able to get, I'm not sure what else from a lead capturing element. The text to lead feature, when it comes to lead capturing, it's it, man, because they don't have to do squat, but text and that's it. And then you got not just their phone number, but a considerable amount of information that I have no idea. But rumor is that if I knew what it was, I'd never use it. And so as a result, I never do. So there's that.
So what I'm hearing is I got to print my website and my lead capture in a QR code, go to restaurants and just stick it on every table so people think they're bringing up the menu and then just bring it on my. I like it. I like it. That's all I heard the whole time. That's all I heard. That's what I got from this.
Well, something that me and Chris have actually thought about doing as well is ordering like a mass amount of beer glasses and then using like a Glowforge or a laser engraver and then just giving them to the bars. I'm saying bars go through so many glasses all the time and be like, hey man, here's a set of 100 glasses. Only thing on it is a QR code. You can put whatever you want on it. And then there you go. I'm saying we've tried to bring it to a couple of local restaurants, not like any big chains because they have a bunch of things, litigation and things you have to go through, but you know, some mom and pop shops. And we're excited to see how that plays out.
What's your name?
Caleb.
Caleb.
Yes,
I think that is a pregnant idea. I think that is a beautiful, beautiful idea. And everyone must go to my website and check out the marketplace where you can get all of that stuff put on with not only the QR code that you want, but whatever else you want that's going to with your logo and whatever other marketing swag that. No, I mean, if you're buying that kind of quantity, the marketplace was built for specifically that purpose. Now, just between us and the fence post with 20 other people, ha ha ha. I'm not. The marketplace is something that is relatively new, and it is done not because I think I'm going to become a Rockefeller making a 15-cent margin off of a 5-cent pen. I want to give you guys the best experience possible so that you can do what you do best, which is selling real estate, and not have to worry about this nonsense when it comes to your brand. You want to have your stuff taken care of. And good luck on trying to get 10,000 business cards reprinted from any major outfit if the color blue is slightly got a little bit too much magenta and looks a little purplish. Well, I'm not saying that I would eat it, but I definitely will have the ability to speak coherently and competently with enough competence to let you know that I have seen just about every manifestation of a cluster, you know what. When it comes to getting something printed, it just about will make your head spin. And I've seen them spin, and they spin out like Tasmanian devil, where you just want to throw your dadgum computer through the windows. Like, damn it, this doesn't look like the way it's supposed to. That's where we come in. One source that just forget everybody. where you can talk to me and Shannon and get you hooked up when you want it, the way you want it the first time. So, and again, this isn't a brand new idea. This has been in the making for years, and it's been burned down and built up and burned down and built up now. And if I sound curt, if I sound a little passionate, it's because, well, I guess I am. So
100%. I'll definitely check out the marketplace.
all right.
I wrote down the link. I'm gonna check it out for sure.
Love it. Awesome.
Thanks, Mr.
Honey,
Pratt.
Hey,
Thank you so much, Caleb, always for participating. Caleb is I can't wait to see where this, I call you kid because I'm 40, almost 41. This kid in 5 years is I can just see he's amazing. So thank you for participating always. Monty, thank you so much for being here. If you can drop your, oh, there it goes. I was gonna say, drop your information where we can contact you. The website is there. Vanessa's doing a great job. Thank you, Vanessa. If you guys took anything, any kind of value from this, if you could just drop a comment. Thank Monty for being here. I'll make sure that I post on our group every single link that Vanessa has shared, so they can contact you, Monty. Again, thank you. If you have any last comments, the floor is yours.
All right, let me see, how do I get my screen share back on? Share screen. Here we go. And my presentation. All right. Old dog, new tricks, right? These newfangled gadgets, I swan. All right. Hello, Q&A. Here we go. All right, here's me. That's the front. That's in when you walk into our shop. That is the covered porch. It used to be a covered porch. I used to swing on the swing set right there, and my grandmother would sing Zippity Doo Dah. We covered it and incorporated it into our front office, and now put stock riders so the local Oklahoma City agents can come in and they'll come in, they'll grab some signs, and because it's a house, they all come in and they look around and tell me every which way till Sunday of how the whole thing needs to be taken down and just demolished, and then they'll go to the bathroom. Okay, so 800-299-5551. That's my 800 number. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you walk in. I mean, every time I go home, I have to go to the bathroom. And it's funny because everyone that comes over to the shop to pick stuff up, it's like they need to go to the bathroom. It's like, yeah, come on in. Yeah, sure. Whatever you need to do, bro. Okay, so Monty at jackpratt.com. That's me, jackpratt.com. And if you're in Oklahoma City, come check it out.
Yeah,
shop
Lacey's close by. Lacey's a few minutes from you. She's in what is it? Edmond? No, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Who's that?
Lacey, if you're hearing this and you can clarify, I forgot exactly what town you're in. My bad.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Edmond's just north of here. And Vanessa, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. That was awesome. Thank you.
Let me see here. Let me screen share one more thing. Okay, I suppose that's it. Eli, I can email you any other links and things if you'd like.
Yes, please do. Yeah, whatever you need to get me, and then I'll share that in the group so everybody has the ability to contact you and check your marketplace out. So I appreciate it. Monty, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everything. And most of all, thank you for your passion, because you are definitely passionate about this, man. I love it. And I'm like that too. So, hey, I respect it and appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it's called to curb your enthusiasm. I've heard that. And if you knew my dad, the only reason we didn't make bobbleheads of my dad is that it would have turned out looking like Larry David. So there's that.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you, everybody, for being here. At Monty, again, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Have an awesome week.
Will do. Thanks, you all. I appreciate it. Y'all hit me up anytime. Look forward to working with you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.